everyone, my name is Sinead and this is an introduction to a series of videos that I'm going to be making in which I talk about my IB experience. For now, I'm going to be calling it #IB Talks because I can't think of a better name. And the reason I'm making this series is because of two reasons. So the first reason is because I've got a lot of time on my hands right now because of the COVID crisis. Everyone already knows like what's going on, so I'm not going to go into that. And the second reason is because I really want to help IB students who are struggling in the program right now, because I know just how hard it can be and how little support there is for IB students. I remember when I first started the IB, I had like no idea what was going on. Like, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to study properly. I didn't really know what the program was like about or like, and I basically just had no idea what I was getting myself into. I didn't really have any connection with IB students in the past, so I was basically just doing everything from scratch. I didn't go to pre-IB schools during my life. I actually did Australian curriculum up until grade 10, which, let's be fair, didn't prepare me at all for IB. I had IB prep class that was literally useless. I literally learned nothing in that class. My high school experience was really good. Like, I really did like my school, like up until grade 10. But it didn't really prepare me for IB. It didn't really like explain to me what the program was. I never could get like a real feel for what it is, for what the program was like. I really enjoyed my classes up until grade 10. Like, they were really good classes and I don't like regret it or anything. It just didn't prepare me for IB. So yeah. So basically when I started IB, yeah, I just had no idea what was going on. Like, I legit had no idea what was going on. And our teachers were helpful, of course. I had like really smart teachers. They all knew what they were doing in terms of education. They were smart. But the problem is that they weren't in our shoes and they couldn't really understand what the position of a student was like, and that's not their fault. For me, I found one thing that really helped was talking to past IB students about their experience, watching study tubers online, because they were the only ones that were able to actually relate to like the situation I'm going in the way that a teacher never could. The IB is an academic experience, but it's also an incredibly emotional experience. And when you're alone and you have teachers just like kind of yelling at you to get your assignments done, and you think you're in competition with a lot of your friends, it can be a really challenging time to be a student, in my opinion, especially if you don't have any help. So in this series of videos, I'm going to be talking about my personal experiences with the IB and try and give you like an honest picture of what the program was like for me. When I did the IB, I was in it hardcore. Like, I wasn't like a casual student or anything. I was like in it to win it, you know what I mean? I really cared about my education. I really wanted to do well, not just for like the IB or the school, but for myself, you know? And so I hope a lot of you can relate in that like the IB program is more than just like getting marks on the paper. It like actually is a good program and that can help you in college, and it can help you in the future, and like can really help like develop your brain in order to become a more critical thinker, become like a smarter person and a more knowledgeable person, and someone who's like more aware of the international connected globalization blah 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 world that we live in. I'm really hoping that this video can act as a source of inspiration for you to care about your education and strive to be better in the IB. I know the IB can like suck a lot of the time. It's really hard a lot of the time, and it's really hard to just push through with it. And I can totally understand to anyone who's feeling unmotivated to study at the moment. But I would like to stress that the IB is, in my opinion, a really good opportunity for self-development and becoming more knowledgeable and just becoming a better person, and it really helps prepare you for university. So yeah, I'm just hoping that these videos can help act as a source of inspiration for you guys in order to, you know, strive to be better in the IB and not give up on the program, because in my opinion, I think it's worthwhile doing. Eventually, I was lucky and hardworking enough to be able to succeed. Somehow I managed a 43. I'm like incredibly proud of that score. But everyone that I talk to seems to assume that the grade just fell in my hands. Like, oh yeah, you knew you were gonna get it from the start. Like, a lot of people assume that it was just like easy for me or something, or that like I didn't have to study that much, or that like that it was inevitable for me. But this grade definitely was not inevitable. I went through so many challenges. I went through so many frustrations. I had to work really, really hard to get that mark. And along the way, I picked up various strategies and techniques for dealing with certain situations that IB can throw at you. And I feel like everything that I've learned from the IB has really taught me like a lot to prepare for like life and stuff. And I feel like it'd be very valuable to share with you guys, because the thing is, yeah, it's school, it's like not exactly like the real world, but the attitude and the habits that you form in the IB, they're going to carry on with you for the rest of your life, basically. The discipline that I set myself in the IB, the habits that I formed in the IB, I've continued to use those habits, and I've continued to use much of the lessons that I learned in the IB throughout my life so far. Obviously, I'm never going to use y equals mx plus c again, unless I do a math course. But learning how to discipline myself, learning how to study, learning how to learn languages even, has been really helpful in my new adult life, whatever that is. So I have a lot of respect for the IB program, but I'm fearing that a lot of students don't have a lot of respect for it. You know, because they're facing challenges that they feel are greater than themselves. They're facing teachers who don't understand them. They're facing terrible online schooling education at the moment. They're facing lots of different issues that can come with the IB. Many issues that I can probably relate to, like bad teaching. So in these videos, I'm going to be talking and chatting about all the various struggles that I went through in the IB. It's not going to be straightforward tips and tricks like my other videos about like how to get a 7 on this assignment. Instead, it's going to be more personal, in which I talk about the problems that I faced in the IB and how I dealt with them. It's going to be more raw, open and honest about like my experiences, like actual experiences that I went through in the IB that probably other people have went through and can probably relate to me. I was extremely lucky enough to have finished the IB program before the COVID-19 outbreak. So COVID-19 happened around December, January-ish, and I had just finished in November, so I'm incredibly lucky for that. So to anyone stuck at home, unmotivated to study, I hope these videos can act as a source of inspiration for you to care about your education, and hopefully you can relate to some of my experiences. Hopefully you can pick up some insights along the way. And if you're an IB alumni, hopefully you can relate. Some of the greatest conversations I have had with people who are IB alumni is just ranting about the IB and how difficult and challenging it was, and just talking about our different experiences. Hopefully you can relate. Please share any video ideas that you have in the comments, and I look forward to seeing you soon. In the meantime, make sure that you stay motivated, study hard, but don't forget to take a break. Bye! And also wash your hands. Stay safe, guys.